So there's a noticeable change I've noticed in many games on Steam, and it's the fact that many developers are adding different things to their game, whether they were planning to before or not, but they're different developers adding controller schemes or controller glyphs and the ability to use controllers natively to their games. And this is really cool. Why? Because of the Steam Deck, of course. So you kind of saw this like a couple different times with different developers. Like, for example, Factorio. The developer of Factorio was wanting to port it to the Switch. And I think that there were plans for it before the Steam Deck came out. But I know it might have also been a contributing factor to wanting to add a controller support to it. But we're going to back to Barony. So if I were to run Barony, can hopefully, okay. So if I turn on my Steam controller, give it a second to load up. Oh, maybe, okay. My controller is not turning off. Okay, so let me see what is up. Okay. It does work. I just have to be weird with it. But so if I go into... Okay, give me 2 seconds. Okay. Remember one important thing. Always kill your stupid Steam controller third-party thing before, like, messing around with it. Okay, so this should give us... Should be able to disconnect it now and reconnect it. Okay, well, we're gonna move on anyway. So we can go to device, gamepad for player 1, player 2, and Barony did add split screen, which is another thing that some games are adopting and others aren't. Let me... Okay. Okay, so now that I've got it working properly, so controller layout, there it is. So we can go back, and I have that turned on. So now we can go in, play, bring it up. And now it works perfectly with it. So I can go in here, and you can see it's got all the glyphs and everything for it too. So I can go through, look through the different options. I can go right. And it probably matches with whatever, glyphs you happen to be using. So it's detecting Xbox controller, so I would think that if it were detecting Switch controller, it might do something else different, but... So you've got layout options, and then your bindings, and you can customize those and all. Okay, so if we go back, we can go up to play game, new, local, and it does the lobby thing, like many games are going to be doing anyway. So I can go ready, and then unready if I want to. So I've played Barony a couple times with on Steam Deck and controller, but they didn't have this quality of death to it like before. And it's a little bit weird having the virtual touchpad on the, well, virtual joystick on the touchpad this way. But anyway. Oh yeah, I have to hold it. So now I can descend into the dungeon. And yeah. And it rumbles. So I can end life. Yep. Bleh. And I can quit to main menu. So this isn't the only game that has done that. So if we go back over, I mentioned Factorio as well. And in a recent update, Factorio has done a very similar thing. So if we go, we can run Factorio. Oh wait, I didn't have to switch over. Never mind. So Factorio has become much more playable on things like Steam Deck because that's what everybody's gunning for. So I should be able to go into settings here, controls, controller. Let's see, movement. Can go back. So now all of a sudden I've got all these nice controller stuff that it shows me. Or it should. So I can open up inventory and things. There are button prompts for it, but it doesn't seem to be showing here. But you can see a couple of the button prompts there. So I can go quit game and quit. So there have been a number of games that have implemented it already. But there are more games that it doesn't quite make sense that it implements it that have been implementing it over time. So like Dusk had their Steam Deck verified update a while ago. And they added like turn wheel and stuff, and more of the controller layout came with porting to the Switch as well. So it's been kind of this like play-by-play, and with games like Factorio or Barony, it gives a much easier way for developers to figure out how to port it to a controller scheme rather than having to go through develop a whole other different on a whole other different library for a different system and then go and try and implement controller schemes to try and make it work. So there was one more I was just thinking of. Oh, Postal 2. They've kind of done the same thing. So back when I first got my Steam Deck, I had messed around with Postal 2 on the Steam Deck, and there was some crashing issues and things like that. But a while ago in April, they got Steam Deck verified. And they're another example of one where they updated a few different things to actually make the Steam Deck work better, and more than anything, to update graphically the control prompts for the Steam Deck, Xbox, and what have you. So it's more modern rather than having the old 360 stuff. but they've still got the old 360 stuff, but they've also got Nintendo stuff as well for button prompts in Postal 2. Which, I mean, halfway makes sense because of, Steam and the number of controllers that you're able to play with it. Come on, buddy. Okay. So, OBS kind of like wigged out on me. So, it did the goofy thing. And it ended right there. So, basically, after that, it's like, yeah, Postal 2 had a bunch of like controller configs for Wii U, Steam Deck, Xbox One, Xbox 360, generic gamepad, and things like that. So that's really cool. Steam Deck being the coolest, and a bunch of people like aiming for Steam Deck compatibility. Pretty awesome to see because one, it makes porting to consoles easier. Kind of adds more Linux games, like games compatible with Linux to the library, and hopefully encourages developers to add more split screen titles because Steam Deck can do split screen technically still. So anyway, yeah, that's... Leave a comment about how cool you think it is. And yeah. If you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.